When I see patchouli, I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm not gonna like this fragrance. Hi beauties, this is your girl Syndie. Welcome back to my channel if this is your first time clicking on my channel. So today's video is a fun little video kind of sharing with you guys 5 fragrances that are on my wish list. I know it's a little soon to be thinking about wish list, but it's never too soon to be trying to manifest. So if you guys are interested in seeing these 5 fragrances, then let's get on with the video. So I'm only sharing these 5 fragrances with you guys. I do have a couple more that are on my wish list, but I don't want to make this video too long. And most of these fragrances are designer fragrances, and you guys know designer fragrances can go from $100 up to $400. And because of this, I've decided to try these fragrances out from Dossier. You guys have known about Dossier. I've talked about it in my videos already. I'll link it right here for you guys. And I've also kind of just shared with you my fragrances of the day. And you guys know I love talking about fragrances. Fragrances are just so special because of just how intimate they are. Like when I think about a fragrance, I think about where I was, what I was wearing, who I was with, the emotions that I was feeling. So that's why I love talking about fragrances, because they're so special to me. And so I wanted to share with you guys these fragrances that are on my wish list. And the reason why I decided to get these from Dossier instead of investing in the fragrance, because one, you guys have known from my fragrance video when I reviewed Dossier that the fragrances smell nearly identical. You cannot tell the difference. And two, I'm someone that likes to kind of wear the fragrance, get a good feel of it, wear it during different times of the day, wear it with different outfits, different settings, to really see how it mixes with my body chemistry and just how I feel about it. Because I don't want to purchase a $400 fragrance and then it sits there and I don't enjoy wearing it, because fragrances are so special that you have to enjoy wearing it. So that's why I decided to get these from Dossier. If you guys are unfamiliar with Dossier, so Dossier is a fragrance company. They are located in New York, but actually a lot of their fragrances are made in Grasse, France, which is said to be the capital for fragrances, because many of your favorite designer fragrances are actually made in Grasse, France. So it kind of gives you that feel that although these are inspired fragrances, it's still coming from the capital of the world where fragrances are made, and it still has that special French vibe, because we all know fragrances, when I think about fragrances and when I think about luxury, I think about France. So you're getting all of that in one. And what I like about Dossier is that you can try out these fragrances for as long as you want. I mean, you don't want to use up the entire bottle, of course. And then when you're done trying them out, if you still love them, keep them. And if you don't, you can return them back, which is why I also decided to get these this time around, because some of the fragrances that are in my wish list are up to like $400. And right now, I don't see myself spending $400 until I'm absolutely in love and I'm ready to invest in a fragrance. So that's why I decided to try that. So the first fragrance that is on my wish list, there are actually 2 fragrances from this designer that are on my wish list. And when I saw that Dossier had an inspired version, I had to get my hand on it. And so the first fragrance that is on my wish list is the Oriental Vetiver. So you guys probably are not familiar with what the Oriental Vetiver is. It's actually by Riedel's Bal d'Afrique. And I know you guys can't see this, but I will kind of have it on the screen so you guys can see what it looks like. But this fragrance, to me, when I first smell it, the first things that I pick up is fresh, it's crisp, it's citrusy. And now that I live in Houston, now that I'm in a warmer, kind of humid climate, I find that I'm always trying to pick up fresh scents, because I just love that feel of like when you first get out the shower and you feel fresh and you feel clean. And that's just the vibe that I get from the Oriental Vetiver. And especially with some of the notes in here, including lemon, bergamot, vetiver, amber, and a little bit of cedar wood, that just gives you that like nice, crisp, fresh scent with a little bit of something with the vetiver and cedar wood. And that's what I like about it. When I first smell this, the first thing that I pick up is definitely that like freshness, and I love that. And then as I wear this, so I've been wearing this and I find that after wearing it for a while, I get a little bit more of a like woody and amber smell, and it smells really good. I actually really enjoy wearing this fragrance with like a white t-shirt. I just find that this is just the vibe that I get from it. It's like a very nice, fresh and clean scent, and that's why I have this on my wish list, because I'm living in a warmer climate and I see that I just want to pick up more fresh scents. So by Riedel's Keynote notes are very similar to what's actually in the Dossier, and they include vetiver, bergamot, African marigold, and Moroccan cedarwood. So they have a lot of those same essences, and that's why I think it smells so identical to Byredo's, and that's because it shares a lot of those same notes. And I find that for lasting power, I get about 3 hours of wear from this. I don't have Byredo, so I can't kind of share with you the comparison, but I can share that the scents smell almost the same. And just by kind of like wearing this and trying it out, once this is done, I know Byredo's Belle Afrique is going to be something that I'm adding on to my collection because I love a nice fresh citrusy scent, and so this is why this one is on my wish list. So just a little comparison on the price so you guys are familiar. So this one by Dossier, their price is actually $39 for a 50 ml bottle, and while Belle Afrique is actually $190 for a 30 ml. So for 20 ml more, you're getting way more, and it's actually more affordable. So if you guys are interested in trying out Belle Afrique and you're interested in trying out Dossier fragrances, I will have a coupon code for you guys in the description bar. So the next fragrance on my wish list is a goodie. I think everybody talks about this designer for a reason, and it's probably one of the most famous, I would say, fragrances out there. And by Dossier, it's the Fruity Oak Moss, which is inspired by Creed's Adventist for Her. Guys, when I tell you that Creed's Adventist is probably one of the most popular fragrances that I hear people talk about a lot, and it's been something that I was like, okay, let me just see, like, what's the hype about? Is this something that I like? Does it go well with me? And I'm just excited that Dossier did have an inspired version for me to try out. So about this fragrance, I feel like this is another one that's in the kind of like fresh and citrusy family, and especially with just kind of like smelling it, because the top notes in here are green apple, lemon, and also bergamot. So when you first kind of smell this, you get that crisp, fresh scent. You guys know I live in Houston, so I'm always grabbing for more fresh scents, and this is another one that I decided to give a try because I love that feel of just freshness. I love that feel of like cleanliness, and so I decided, let me give this a try. I have not tried the original Creed's Adventist for Her, but so far, just by comparing the notes, I can tell that there are a lot of similarities between the two, and I just know that it's probably gonna smell identical, because if you guys have watched my Dossier video when I was trying them out for the first time, you guys know that these fragrances smell like identical. The only major difference I could tell just by some of them is that they're not as powerful, in that the scents are not as strong as the original, and they don't necessarily last as long. Some of them last nearly almost the same, but that's kind of the only differences. And so I just felt like, why spend the $400 for a bottle when I can try this out for $59 when it smells identical? Because nobody's gonna know the difference if they come and smell me. So they're not gonna know that I'm wearing Dossier as opposed to Creed. So that was the other reason why I decided to get this. But I love the scent. It's just another one of those scents that I could just see myself wearing like a white dress, a white t-shirt, something very light and cool that goes with the citrusiness of this. And what I like about this scent here is it gives me a sense of like sophistication, elegance, a little bit of a mature kind of like vibe. This is not something that I would recommend to like teens or like young women. And not to say that this is like too mature. I feel like it's like a mature young woman. You know, this is like elegance, sophistication, old money. It's like, I don't have to try too hard. I can just wear this, and I just have a sense of like, a sense of poise when I wear this, and that's why I love the scent. So this is another one that's on my wish list. I'm excited to be trying it out, and I'm excited that I have this by Dossier so I can get more familiar with the scent. And once this is done, this is something that I feel like I want to invest in, then I will. And so just a quick price comparison between this one and Creed. So this one retails for $59 for a 50 ml bottle, or $207 for a 30 ml bottle. So you get a little bit more to kind of play around with and see if this is something that you want to invest in later on. So that's why I do also love the risk-free program by Dossier, because you can try this out, you love it, you can invest in it, or you can decide to get another one by Dossier, whichever you decide to do. Now the next fragrance that's in my collection is actually an oldie. It's not a new fragrance, and this is a fragrance that I've kind of gone back and forth as to if I want to invest in it. Just because sometimes I love it, sometimes I don't, but now I feel like I love it, and it's the Fruity Jasmine by Dossier, or Dior's J'adore. I just love the name, okay? J'adore Dior. Like, it's just that French name, that French vibe that I just love so much. But this fragrance to me is very fruity, it's very feminine, it's very soft. It just gives me a little powdery and floral scent. I feel like when I smell this fragrance, what I think about is like silk, softness, elegance. Like, I just picture wearing this scent with like a silky kind of blush slip dress with some nice open toe heels on a summer day. And this also has a little bit of freshness in it with the mandarin, and that's just what I feel like is my vibe right now. It's fresh, it's powdery, it's feminine, it's floral, and this is definitely one of those scents. It does have a tiny bit of like mature, but not anything crazy. But I really love this scent. Like, I'm just gonna put some on now because it just smells so good. Oh, and I just feel like this is a fragrance that is really good if you are going to kind of like a networking event, a gala, and you just want to smell like fresh, but you also want to smell and sweet and feminine. I love J'adore's Dior, and I will have the bottles on screen for you guys so you can see what they look like. I think Dior's J'adore, the bottle, is probably one of my favorite bottles. I just love how it looks. It also just gives me like a gem, like you're holding a gem. So this is probably gonna be the first fragrance that I purchase when I'm done with the Dossier's version, because it smells so good, and it smells like identical. I have some samples of J'adore. It smells nearly identical. You can't tell the difference. Although I will say the original has a little bit of more of a lasting power, but if you just want a little more, all you gotta do is take this with you and spray a little bit more. So the notes in this one include mandarin, green leaf, sweet pea, jasmine, which is probably like the lasting scent that I feel like I smell from this. And also you have a little bit of sandalwood and a little bit of musk. So that just gives it a little bit more of a kind of like woody scent. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it kind of gives you a little bit of that. But there's just a lot of sweetness in this fragrance. You also have peach, you also have plum. It's like sweetness packed, but in a good way. I just love this is my favorite. Like, I love it so much. So this is the other fragrance that is in my wish list, and the one by Dossier is Fruity Jasmine. So just to give you guys a little bit of a price comparison, this one's $29 for a 50 ml, and the J'adore is $108 for a 50 ml. So you get the same size, but definitely a difference in price. And like I said, it doesn't last necessarily as long, but it doesn't hurt to take this along with you and just reapply and freshen up when needed. So this is the next fragrance here. So the next fragrance on my wish list is actually a newer fragrance. I saw this bottle in store and it just kind of like intrigued me because I was like, this is a very cool bottle. I have it on screen. It's very thin and interesting, and by Dossier, it's the Floral Musk, but it's actually Lancome's Idole. Like, guys, this fragrance, oh my goodness. It just smells very smooth, very feminine, and it has a nice little touch of musk to it, and I think that's why it just kind of like balances out the fragrance. And this is another one that just reminds me of like softness, smoothness, silkiness. I love the scent of this, and I think definitely what intrigued me about this is the fact that this fragrance has patchouli, because I swear that all of my favorite fragrances, from Coco Chanel to Hermes, like all of those have patchouli. So when I see patchouli, I'm like, okay, there's no way I'm not gonna like this fragrance. And when I saw this, I had to try it, and I was definitely right, because I love the scent of this. So this is another one of those fragrances that I feel like has a little freshness, but it's more on the floral and kind of powdery and kind of like soft and feminine side. And I feel like this is something that's really good for like date nights or like evening wear, or just any type of like event where you want to smell feminine and you want to smell a little flirty, a little fun. This is one of those fragrances. And so I am super excited when I saw that Dossier did create a version, because this is a newer fragrance and it definitely has like rose, jasmine, pear, patchouli, musk, vanilla, just a lot of like powdery freshness, a lot of florals in here. It just has a lot of the same notes. I also just wonder what the difference is like. So I'm gonna definitely get to the store, try some samples and see what the difference is like, because I have not had a chance to, but I'm pretty sure it's going to smell similar, and I'm excited about that. I love this set. So the next one on my list is Lancome's Idole. And just a quick little price comparison, Dossier's retails for $29 and the original Lancome Idole is $99, so you get the same size bottle, and of course there's a price difference. Now the next fragrance on my wish list is a fragrance that I've had samples for a while and I still have not decided to get it, but it's just one of those feminine fragrances that I love. I absolutely love the bottle. I'll have the bottle on screen. I just love that it has this little cute little bow, very feminine, and I have these two samples here that I got from a sample set. So the next fragrance is actually Chloe's Chloe, and so these are the two fragrance sets that I have. One of them is the Chloe's Chloe Eau de Parfum and one of them is the Absolute. So these are the two bottles that I have, and by Dossier it's the Floral Peony. This peony is another one of those notes that if it's in a fragrance, I'm going to love, because a lot of my other floral fragrances have peony in it, especially Jo Malone's Peony and Blush Suede. I love that. I love how peonies look. They're not my favorite flower, but they're a close second. And so this one has peony, lily, rose, magnolia, musk, cedarwood, and a little bit of honey. When I tell you that this is a fragrance that I feel like is good for almost about every occasion. You can wear this to work, you can wear this to church, you can wear this to run errands, you can wear this to go out to dinner, lunch. This is one of those like universal scents, and I feel like it's perfect for a feminine woman like myself, because you can wear this anywhere and it smells just very like sweet. It smells very floral, it smells light, it's not overpowering at all, and I think that's why this is great and versatile. And I just really love this scent, and I love a scent that I can kind of just not think about when I'm going somewhere. I can just kind of pick up and go, and so this is another one. And just comparing, all the notes that are in Chloe's are in Dossier's as well, and that's the peony, the rose, the cedarwood, and also the honey. So I think that's why this smells so similar to it. And price comparison, the one by Dossier is $29 and the one by Chloe's is actually $105, so you are saving a little bit. I will say that I do feel like Dossier's is a little bit lighter than the original Chloe's Chloe. I feel like the Dossier doesn't last as long as Chloe's Chloe, but like I've said before, you can always just take this with you, and if you need to just reapply, or you can put a little bit more when you're wearing this to help with that. But when I say these two smell identical, you almost can't tell, and that's what I really love about Dossier. So this is the next fragrance that is on my wish list, and this is something that I hope to be getting very soon once this is done, because this is something that I'm going to be wearing every day. When I don't want to think about, grab it and go. So this is the next fragrance here. Alright beauties, so that pretty much concludes today's video. Just want to share with you guys some of the fragrances that are on my wish list, and I'm super excited that I was able to get my hands on these by Dossier, just to kind of like try them out before I decide to invest in them, because you don't want to buy something and then later on you don't enjoy wearing it, because fragrances are special, fragrances are fun, fragrances are intimate. You want to feel comfortable and you want to make sure that you enjoy wearing them, because after all, it's going on your body, guys. It's going on you and you alone. So that's why I wanted to share with you guys these fragrances that are on my wish list. I hope you beauties enjoy this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to join the beautiful family. And as always, live your life happily, healthily, and beautifully. And I'll catch you beauties in my next video.